Welcome to the Digital Gaming Podcast. My name's Christian.
I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
I want to say that we never agreed that Christian was just going to start going first.
That's true.
Nobody brought it up. We didn't do. There's no
I
schematic.
didn't know he handles the
doing it on
recording,
the
so
regular.
we don't know when the show starts until
Did
he
you
says
guys-
something.
You guys
I get
liked it
it,
better
dude.
when I said Q to Bobby,
I-
when I was like, Q.
I get it, but Bobby says 7 words the whole podcast, and you took away 3 of them, and it's like, you know, it's rough. It
is-
makes
It's
it
all
rough.
right. I'll gladly give up that responsibility.
I had a super productive day today.
You also forgot somebody.
Oh, myself? No, wait. Who?
What?
Days, did you say your name?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
I'm here.
Oh,
No,
okay.
who's sick now?
Oh man.
I must
think I'm
have.
being
That's
sick.
what the thing is that this new COVID is that it just goes right through the mic, and so now we all have it.
We
Oh,
all
great.
are.
Spreading the
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
That's what it
Gotcha.
is.
I'll take another day off, another few days off. Do you think you have the newest variant? Are you like being chic and cool?
I feel like I feel like I have whatever variant is just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It's just
The
annoying.
annoying
If I
variant.
could get my taste back and if I can smell mint again, I'm gonna be a happy camper. But yeah, it's just
Right now, you have no taste or smell.
not really. It's like interesting things. Like I'm able to taste a little bit of some shrimp, and
That's weird.
I can.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
it's
sucks.
really specific. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can smell garlic.
Uh-huh.
And mustard smells like farts, but that's about it.
Oof.
Yeah, mustard
So
always
that's what
kind of
I'm
smells like
working with.
farts, you know?
Did you
Like-
lose your gag reflex?
I don't know. I didn't try that. I guess that's for later, huh?
So had a super productive day today, like not a regular day. Changed the garbage disposal because it broke. I installed a new range, like a cooktop or whatever. Went out and bought a second e-bike for the family, and then modded them all so all 4 of us can ride on 2 bikes. And then and Sam built a catio. Does anybody know what a catio? Nick, you can't answer. So I
Of
helped her
course.
with that.
What? We
I
all
know
love
what it
cats
is.
over here.
A catio. What is
Yeah,
a
catio.
catio? No, nobody. So it's
Yeah.
like a series
It's a
of
radio cat.
it's like a series of boxes outside of a window, and they can go out into the like cage that's outside, and that's their own little area.
It's a cat patio.
Yeah, a cat patio. And so yeah, they hate it right now. We're hoping they're gonna start to like it. But yeah, they can go outside anytime they want now because they have this whole thing. I'll post pictures. Christian looks super
Christian, you've never
confused.
heard of these?
No, I know exactly what they are. I wish I had them for my cats. I feel like that's the best present you can get for a cat.
it's pretty
It
dope,
is.
dude.
Yeah.
Pretty
They
bougie.
actually sell like cat doors, like doggy doors, but for cats that are insulated. So if you live in like a really cold area, you don't have to worry about, or like a really hot area, you don't have to worry about like backdraft and shit like that. So you can just set up a little like cat door, and then they can go out and come back in. This guy I follow on Instagram is like making a house out of a shed, and he has like a catio for his cat, but his cat also shits outside. So I'm like worried.
Oh,
it
that's the other thing.
smells.
We're gonna put the kitty litter in the catio. So that whole thing's
Oh.
gonna happen outside now. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, Sam always does a good job on any kind of crafts. I'll post pictures.
Nice.
Other than that, who's ridden an e-bike? Anybody?
Oh, yep.
I've
They're
ridden
fucking
one, yeah.
amazing.
They're fucking amazing. You know what they
Yeah.
do? They take out the suck from bicycles up
Yeah.
hills, basically uphill. That's what really kills you. And like carrying a lot of weight, I guess, which I do. And yeah, so I like to pedal, like to get a good exercise in, but it helps with the suck or eliminates the suck, however you want to do it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So we
makes
just brought our
riding up a
second
hill-
one. So now the whole family is going to go on a ride after this,
Oh,
if I'm not
nice.
too drunk.
Do you have bike lanes near your... we don't need to get into it. Okay.
Yeah.
Last week, we have some housekeeping to attend to. We all made some guesses on a game called Newer, Play With Your Food. Can I get a drum roll? Wait, not drum roll yet. Okay, so
On how to
Emilio.
pronounce it?
No. You guessed it was $19.99.
Oh, right.
Nick said $24.99. Bobby 20. I said 7, and Amanda said $14.99. And if I remember right, Bobby said 20 with a 10% discount. That's jogging my memory somewhere. Maybe that didn't happen. Anyways, now can I get a drum roll? It's $15.99, Amanda. I have to trust all your opinions going forward. You can see the future. You know what's going on. So
I lost
You're
my
looking at
taste with
USD,
COVID,
right?
but
Yeah, it's USD.
Okay.
oh, I'm not. Oh, this changes things. Wait.
No. I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now. It's $14.99.
It's a photo
No.
finish.
No. It's
$14.99.
it's $11.99. It's $11.99 USD.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
a release
okay.
discount of 20%, but it's $14.99 standard price.
Okay,
11. That's super cheap.
amazing. Nick,
I might pick this up.
you're gonna pick it up? Awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pay for that cheap. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna pick it up actually.
We have another housekeeping item. Last week we had a fierce debate over. Nick just said, "Catwall." I'm just gonna play the clip, okay?
The majority of people will go with fantasy and post-apocalyptic than they will with space.
This is
The majority of people will go with post-apocalyptic or fantasy than they will with space. So we put a poll in Discord, and I'm happy to say Nick is half wrong. 48% of people voted fantasy, 30% voted sci-fi, and 21% post-apocalyptic. So I do not accept that sci-fi is bottom of the barrel. It is post-apocalyptic. Thank you.
This post-apocalyptic, I have a question for this, and I thought of this like 30 minutes after like talking about this. Does zombies fit into post-apocalyptic?
I would
that is
guess
an
so.
I would
Yes.
say
Yeah.
zombies
Yeah.
are an apocalypse. It's one of the four horsemen, if you will.
The debate that I had
Excellent.
was, is it horror or post-apocalyptic? So I was like, So yeah, I just wanted to hear you guys' takes. It sounds like it is post-apocalyptic. So yeah.
Oh,
I would think
zombies.
so.
Gotta love them. Okay, moseying on down. On the radar, games that have caught our attention, and Bobby is starting us off.
Yeah, going to start it off with Warhaven. This is another one of those medieval combat games. So, Chivalry, Mordhau, For Honor, War of the Roses, which no one remembers, but that was always my favorite one. They focus heavily on sword play, usually moving the mouse in certain directions to do certain types of attacks. This one is free to play, though. I'm not sure. I don't think any of the others were free to play. Did For Honor eventually go free to play? I feel like that might have happened.
Yeah, I think
think
that's
so.
true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, this one is free to play, and it's being published by Nexon, this Korean company that apparently is getting into developing games. It's being published and developed by Nexon. And I recognize them because they published a bunch of games, famously Maple Story, like way back in the day, but also one that I played and I bring up from time to time, Dragon Nest. And then a few others that I've talked about as well, like Cartrider Drift, and also big hit this year, Dave the Diver. So with the exception of Dave the Diver, all these games have these like in-app purchases, these kind of cash grab tactics, like some stuff I don't necessarily like. And I noticed on the Steam page of Warhaven, they actually list under one of the tags, it lists in-app purchases, which I've never seen on a Steam page before. Maybe that's a new thing, but basically I'm assuming that's microtransactions, right? I mean, it is a free-to-play game. They've got to make money somehow. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it'll be free to play, but probably cosmetics or whatever. But given I don't know, Cartrider is a mobile game, and I just happen to play it on PC. But that one I think definitely has some pay to win mechanics.
Wait, have you still been playing Cartrider?
It's been a while, but
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were like,
no.
P1 position these days.
No, not super into that. I mean, playing it on PC is weird because you're playing against people on mobile, like people just playing on their phone, and you're still losing. It's a typical kart racer. Like the problem is it's so random, which I guess is kind of good, but also it just is frustrating. But yeah, that's Warhaven. God, when is the release date? I didn't see that here. Do they have that yet? It's free to play, so I'm sure I'm going to check it out. Honestly, I've had a hard time getting into any of these since War of the Roses, and I don't know why that is. Chivalry just didn't feel right to me. I was used to the mechanics of War of the Roses, and then Mordhau kind of felt the same. But then For Honor, like I couldn't play that game at all. I feel like that one was really pushing you towards playing with a controller. Maybe that was my problem with it, but yeah, I don't know.
Apparently,
played
it's
a
a
little.
great game now. It's on like season 17, and it's
Mhm.
just been killing it. Yeah,
It's had a long life.
You know, it wasn't. It's still not a mass success, but it did dig itself out of its hole that it was in. So
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Warhaven on the Steam Next Fest, and Bobby, when you're playing these medieval melee fighters, do you like kind of that Battlefront 2 mechanic where the more people you kill, it like charges up like a boss bar, and then you can spawn in as like a strong hero?
Not necessarily. I like a lot of the customizations of it. The problem with War of the Roses is that everybody figured out the best way to play it was just a naked guy with a big sword or like a giant axe. Because the more armor you put on, the more it slows you down or it slows your swing and the different weapon types. Like there's a lot of mechanics to these types of games. It's almost like a mech game if you think about it. You really have to customize your character when you go into battle. But I don't know. I'm not opposed to that. Why did this one seem a little more? Just looking at the screenshots and the videos, it seems a little more arcadey. I guess is the word I'm
Yeah.
looking for.
So they have that boss mechanic where you spawn in as something super powerful. I think it feels really cool. Like I think it works for the game, but I know like some people, if they're a fan of chivalry, they're not gonna like that. They're kind of in it for the more like tactical.
Yeah, no, dude. Chivalry is dead to me, at least. It's
Oh man, don't say it. What about Mordhau? Is Mordhau still alive?
the problem with those games is they felt honestly too hard. Like I felt like I was just getting worked over by tryhards all game, and I was like, I don't have the time to I don't know, get this to
To
a
get
level of
good,
skill.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
can't
exactly
get good,
where
man.
dude, I bought this thing, dude. I bought a whole peripheral, but I don't have the time to fucking get good at Street Fighter, man. I don't have time. It's unfortunate. I still enjoy playing it, but like, yeah, those things, it takes time to get good.
Guys just need to get COVID again. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, if you could like send me like a nice COVID email that I could open right into my mouth, I would do it just so I
Yeah.
could get better in Street Fighter.
I
Get
got
real
you.
close to that mic, Amanda. Get real close.
I just got to throw this out there. Fucking Zangief's been winning tournaments. He's won 2 tournaments now. One Zangief, even though he's the bottom player. I had to say that. Christian, good job trying to get Bobby to say that he likes something. You said, "Hey, do you like this one mechanic?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know."
Well, it comes out
see.
September 20th, free to play, so it might be something we can all hop into and like just see if we like it.
Well, the
That's
good
the
thing
beauty of
about
free to play games. Like everybody, you can talk anyone into playing it with you at least once.
Yeah.
So I'll check it out at least.
and you can see if you like it or even love it. Every once in a while, there's a free to play that you love.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Switching a little whatever. Blech. Okay, Star Trek Infinite. That's a game I'm going to talk about.
What was that?
I don't know.
Amanda's half dead, and her segues are 10 times better, dude.
Yeah, but she has such an advantage because she's, I don't know, born having amazing segues. I don't know. So, Star Trek Infinite, this is a 4X title by Paradox. They make these games. The last Grand Strategy Star Trek game that I played was a custom map in Warcraft 3. So, I'm pretty excited that they've done this. What is kind of raising like a little bit of slight concern for me is it looks exactly like Stellaris. Like all the UI menus, even the resource icons and the way the character portraits are built, it looks exactly like Stellaris.
Yeah.
And I
just noticed that too.
I looked at the PC Gamer article because I was like, is there something else to this? Like it looks like just a reskin of Stellaris. And they say PC Gamer says it's built in the Stellaris engine. When I open up Stellaris, it does not say Stellaris engine. So I don't know what that is, if that's like a new thing. And it makes me happy because okay, so they have this engine, and now can we have like a Battlestar Galactica Stellaris? Can we have a Star Wars Stellaris? I mean, as long as the licensing works out, like, what does this open the doors to if they have this engine that might be a little bit easier to build these worlds in? So, I'm interested to see what's like actually Star Trek about this and what's Stellaris. Is it just like a straight reskin? If so, that would be kind of meh. It's $40. It releases on October 12th, and City Skylines releases on October 24th, and there's just no time in October. I don't know if I can. I'm playing City Skylines too. That's non-negotiable, but I don't know if I can fit this in. Any interest, folks, friends, Star Trek, sci-fi haters, I should say.
Hey man, I don't hate sci-fi. I've learned to like Star Trek more than I do Star Wars, though.
So it's kind of like a reskin.
I don't want to say it like that before I played it, but it sure looks like it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, new missions and new everything else, but geez, I don't know. Did you? How much did you like Stellaris?
Yeah, I put like 300 hours into it. Liked it a lot.
So this is great. It's more content.
Yeah. No. I'm fine with it. I'm fine if it is just a reskin of Stellaris. But what I did see that I should mention is it's more focused on like story trees. I'm not like a huge Star Trek guy, but I've watched some episodes. I know there's like a war between the Federation and the Klingon. You know, I know the basics. And you start at the beginning of Star Trek.
Depends at what time, what Star Trek you're talking about.
What parallel universe you're in.
Neil,
Whether or not it's pre-Picard or post-Picard.
Are we talking the Kelvin timeline or no? Because that could factor in as well.
You guys are all Star.
By the way, Leslie,
I'm really gonna fall asleep.
Leslie is super into Star Trek to the point where like, so she grew up kind of in like a lower income household, and they didn't have cable, so Star Trek was like free to watch on TV, and that's all she fucking watched. And so she knows so much about Star Trek, and her favorite thing to watch right now, besides Bob's Burgers on TV, is the Lower Decks. Like she loves watching that cartoon. We watch it every Thursday. It's like Rick and Morty plus like Star Trek, and it's so fucking good, dude. It's so funny.
It's about the help, right?
Yeah, it's about the Lower Decks. It's about the
help.
ensigns, the shittiest of the shitty.
I could watch that. That sounds good. I'm watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and I'm liking it. It's kind of like a new take, but anyways.
A little segue here, or a little whatever tangent. Going on a bird walk. A buddy of mine, you know, one of these drunken nights at like my friends, like, dude, hang out with just guys, drink beer and stuff. This guy, he's like, hey man, you know, it's crazy that you have a podcast, but if I ever, like, my absolute dream, if I ever get the money, would be to make a podcast about the angry ensign. Like, just, you know, somebody down in the, and he goes episode by episode of Star Trek, and he's complaining about like all the shit that rolled downhill for him for that episode. I was like, dude, that is an awesome idea. That is so good. But you don't have to be rich or have any. I was like, I have a studio. You can just come and record that if you want. Oh, no. I couldn't. I couldn't possibly do that. Like, I would need everything to be perfect. And I was like, it's an audio format, dude. Like, as long as your voice sounds good, like, it's going to be good. No. I couldn't. I'm like, it was so weird to me that it was just this idea, but really when it came down, he wasn't going to swing when he was at bat. You know what I mean?
Did he say the thing he wanted the most in his life?
That dude's going to be on his
just
deathbed saying like, I should have made that.
I should have took Emilio's.
I could have.
I should have took Emilio's
But
offer.
now that the Lower Decks are out, like, yeah, that was his idea, basically.
Yeah, but so like the Lower Decks, every single episode has a call out to like every single like season or whatever. Like they go over shit and they reference shit because like everything has like the Picard timeline, all that stuff has like existed, and so like what, for example, there's like a race that's mentioned in like the previous seasons, and they're known as the Packlids. and they're like this.
All right. Okay, when you have to start explaining, we're going down a long road here, folks. We got a long show. I'm just
It's true.
There's lots of birds on this bird walk.
Long story short, they make the smallest things the funniest shit, and you should definitely watch the show. But, this is a video game podcast. Yeah, Witchfire.
Witchfire. Way to cut him off. That's like in the Oscars where they start playing the music when they're fucking trying to say.
Oh man, you bring up Star Trek around a bunch of nerds, man. It's gonna be a minute. I know.
Okay,
No, it was good.
Witchfire. It was put on our radar from Burn Division, and it is unfortunately an Epic exclusive for the first year. From watching the videos, I mean, I wouldn't bring it. Like most Epic exclusives, I would not bring up because like nobody's gonna play it for the first year. Just imagine that it's a like a preview, a 1-year preview instead of it about to come out. But if you watch the videos, it reminds me a lot of Remnant, which there's not a lot of games that are right there in that kind of like soulsy, shooty, slashy games. There's not a lot. That's like there's one, I think, that put them all together. So you are some sort of witch with guns, and you cast spells and you shoot guns, and you make them mix. Really, the mechanics here is what really interested me about this. So there's this one spell where you make a bell, like a magical bell above the bad guys, and you shoot it and it stuns the bad guys, and you can shoot it like up to 3 times before it disappears, and and the bad guys are like grabbing their head and they're like being all shaky, and then they thought of so many things. It's all about the details here. Like when I was watching this thing, obviously usually when you fight a big boss, you can't stun a big boss, but if you have the bell directly above their head and you shoot the bell, then that gets them rattled. So it adds a layer of complexity there. Also, every gun has progression and levels, so you unlock the magic in every gun as you're playing with it, and I thought it was really cool. So just the basic pistol at the very beginning of the game. This is one of the mechanics. This is one gun. This is the very beginning one. Every crit that you get in a clip of 6 makes the next clip super powered bullets. So let's say you got 3 crits out of the 6. Then you would have 3 super powered bullets in the next clip. And I thought that was a really cool mechanic. And then you keep leveling up. Like it's almost like a skill tree. It sounded like every gun has a skill tree and you can just keep going down, things like that. Anyway, the gameplay looked really cool. The spells looked really awesome. And they mix. It's like, just like I put it here. I said, magic and gun make babies. Like, they're. It's not you can do magic and you can play and you can shoot guns. You have guns, and they can be enhanced by your magic.
Like an artificer or something, like someone.
Yeah, totally. Yep.
Cool.
This is by the same developer as The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which is a totally different type of game.
Yeah, Polish. Christian showed me a list of Polish games, and they
Polish
pump
game
out some good
developers. Yeah, Poland. Let's go. I need to know one Polish word so that when I say that, I can tie it together a little better.
The only Polish word you need to know is kurwa.
What does that mean? Shit.
It's like they're like sup, like or like essentially they use it for everything. Like it's like a yeah or a no or like this. It's like aloha and fucking.
So
Hawaiian. Like it's.
I literally, Nick. I just typed into Google Translate and it literally says it means whore.
Yep. It does, but they use it for everything, dude.
I do not believe you. Also,
look it up.
If I wouldn't have looked that up, some poor listener was going to be out there and just like,
Some Polish
Call
listener
people
just got in
hard.
trouble.
yeah.
Wow.
All right, then what we're looking for is "Chodź me," which is "Let's go," in
Hotch
Polish,
me. Okay.
Chodź me.
Yeah.
which starts with
Alright.
the CH apparently. But I clicked on the how do you hear this or how do you say this?
We worship Poland.
Amanda, wake
Well-
up! It's your turn.
Yeah, well, man, God, I was gonna say going from the occult to just straight cult. I put Worship on the radar, which is a game that is a roguelike game where you are wearing the robe of a cultist and you are gathering a bunch of followers. This is locally co-op and local multiplayer. It's not out yet. It just says that it's coming out soon. But what I really like about this game is that I think it's stylized in just such a really cool way. Everything is black and white except for red and blood that you draw and create these ceremonies in. So they have like some of these scenes where you literally grab one of your followers, stab them, and then with the blood you form a shape or a symbol in order to progress to the next part of the map or for certain things like when you're fighting and stuff like that. And so I just kind of really love the way I've always loved games that use color in a very intentional way when they design things. And so I think that this is pretty cool how they've done this here too, but predominantly focusing on blood and using blood for sacrifice and rituals. And so you can then have a little bit of like a follower management to command followers and do different things and send them to different explorations and stuff like that, which I think is cool. You can do like a cult progression where you build buildings and create your own like little commune, which I think is kind of like a fun or interesting addition to this kind of a game as well. But I don't know, but this game, it looks really kind of interesting. It definitely looks savage as fuck, and I kind of love that.
Do you think this
It's
kind of
pretty
like
cool.
a copy of Cult of the Lamb? A little bit.
I think there's a little bit of that in there. It's inspired by Pikmin as well, and I can see some of that
Yeah.
inspiration with that as well. But
It definitely looks like a fusion of the two. Looks fun.
mhm.
Yeah,
It's so
I love the
beautiful.
look of it.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, looks great. It looks like some of the puzzles are depending on how much blood you can put down on the ground. It's
Yeah,
cool.
which I think is kind of funny. But then you just go around and you just convert more local people into being followers, so that way then you have more blood.
Charisma
Easy.
plus 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's Worship.
Nice. From Montreal, this game studio. Sorry, I'm just like looking them up now because this game is so beautiful. I thought, what else did they make? Doesn't seem like a lot else, but looks like this was backed
Chasing
on
Rats
Kickstarter.
games.
Chasing Rats. Do you guys know there's no rats in Alberta? Do you guys know this? Where I'm
Really?
from,
Too
there's
cold?
no rats. No. At the border of Saskatchewan, British Columbia, and America, there's rat outposts, and the government pays like professional catchers to like put traps down and hunt down all the rats. It's from like there's like a farmer tax, and they all pay into this bucket, and then they fund these border outposts so that they don't like feed on the crops. And if you look at a map of the world, you'll see an Alberta cutout of no rats. Just a fun little fact.
Wow.
I feel like that's shit.
Crazy.
What?
I feel like that's bullshit.
It's not. It's
There's
not.
definitely rats in there, man.
Do I have to get?
Probably
So
less
if
than
I
rats
were to
involved.
if I were to head to you, I have to get past the rat outpost.
There's just like a horde of rats
At the
going like
border.
on a fence.
What
and
about
Alberta's
pet
mowing
stores? Can you
down.
buy a rat in a pet
No.
store?
No way.
Really?
No,
No
you can
way.
only buy mice. You can only buy mice.
about Okay, that's
It's
strange.
rat free.
A little bit of a bird walk again. There's two YouTube channels I've watched that are like people that exterminate rats for a living. One of them uses sables, which are kind of like weasels, and he trains them to go into their burrows and break all their necks. And it is fucking awesome. Like it is so cool because they're long and like a weasel, super
Using
super
a weasel
long and
rat to
thin,
kill
like
a bunch of rats.
yeah. So he can fit in all the things, and then he'll let like 4 of them loose, and the video is crazy, just
Is he a
crazy
druid?
stuff. And then there's another guy who does night vision sniping with a pellet gun, and he just kills them. And it's crazy. It's like watching war footage where only one side can ever win.
Can fight back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like to think he is a druid, Amanda. I like to think he
Yeah.
talks to those weasels really close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, way to go. You just killed Halson. Awesome. Great.
Apparently, sables are like and weasels aren't trainable. Most people say, but this guy trained them to do what he wants. It's pretty
Oh,
cool.
anything's trainable.
Whoa.
Leslie says lizards can't love. That's my favorite thing she says.
Highlights.
All right.
Games we have been playing. Bobby, getting a little spooky? Early October? What's happening?
Yeah, well, this is actually from a little while ago. Nick and I played Phasmophobia, and we didn't have a chance to really talk about it. I think this was the first time we played it since the Ascension update, the version 0.90 that came out, I guess, about a month ago now. This was the big update, whole bunch of stuff. And right off the bat, we could tell the game was just a lot more difficult. I think we played the first map, that little house, and we always do that as kind of a warm up, and that went all right. But then we went on to do a couple other maps and lost every single one. And some of that was getting used to the changes, but also they've just made the game harder. It's got all the new items in it, and I think there's been a lot of little patches since this one came out. So I think they're trying to tweak some things because it almost seems like some of
Too hard.
No, not too hard. I think they're forcing you to level up is what it is. You have to level up to unlock the really good gear, and you have to spend a lot of time leveling up to unlock those tier 3s. But once you do, I imagine it'll get a little easier. But Nick was saying that I think the thermometer, so the lower quality one is better than the higher one, or maybe that was another item.
So the lower quality thermometer is just like an analog thermometer, right? So they fixed some things in the game where you can just auto tell something happens without even using the tool. So like one thing that used to exist in the game was if you could see your breath, that means that there's freezing temperatures, right? It was kind of like a handicap for people that couldn't afford things, and the game didn't have like progression, so it was kind of like a way to like make money if you just lost all your money. So that's out the window now. That doesn't help at all, kind of, because the whole house could be that temperature. But the thermometer, the analog one, you could just pull it up and it's like, oh, it's this temperature. As long as you have it in your hands, even if you're not looking at it, it's constantly adjusting. But the second way to tell temperature is a temperature gun. It's a really shitty one. You have to hold it for like 6 seconds, and then it tells you the temperature, and it doesn't move. And so like you can do a reading, but if like in that reading you can be attacked or you can do anything can happen. You can't put it on the ground and it work. Like the analog thermometer, you can just place it on the bed and it's working. So there's some things that are better technically, or I wouldn't say technically, but like when you think about it, like analog and like in like a human aspect. But the fucking temperature gun sucks. I don't know about the third one. I haven't got the third one.
I'm dying to know, Bobby and Nick, this UI menu that was such a terrible travesty that Bobby just references.
It's not any better.
It's still there. It's still shit.
Yeah. It's still pretty terrible. That and also the graphics. So they were talking about not necessarily improving the graphics, but other things about the way the game handles. I didn't really notice much of a difference, honestly. It all looks kind of about the same. Yeah, and I played with randos for the first time too, which I've never done before. You know, I always just play whenever Nick's playing and with his friends who know what they're doing. But I actually had the desire because you have to level up so much now to get the good gear. I'm like, well, I'm going to put in some work and get some good gear here and get into this. And it did not really go well because what kept happening was I would join random games, and it was typically a group of people who are already like grouped up and knew each other. And then I'm just like the stranger that shows up and I'm not very experienced. And also this game relies so heavily on voice comms that it feels really awkward to jump into somebody else's circle and talk to them over the internet. I don't know. A lot of times when I play games, as a late, I don't feel social, whatever. Like I'm not a big talker anyway. So I
Hey
realized
guys,
how
age, sex, location. What's going on? Yeah.
yeah, it's super weird to like jump into someone else's game. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. But I still do want to play more of this and level up. So if anyone's playing, let me know. Or if you want to play Void Crew, offer's still out there. I know someone had messaged me or said something about it, but it's
Who
been a
was
rough
that?
week.
Cricket Soldier said that if you buy it, he'll buy it.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. I just got I got jury duty this week. I don't know if I'm going to get selected for a trial, and I've got
Oh.
like 3 side jobs going on. Well, 2 side jobs in a favor, but it's a busy week coming up. But something really weird happened too. So I was the last one left alive in one of these missions gone wrong, and I'm trying to run out of the house because I'm just like, all right, I'm out of here. This is if I'm the last guy left alive, like I don't know what I'm doing. Like mission's over, let's go. And apparently, when the ghost hunts, it shuts the door. So I get to the door and I open it, and it slams shut. And I think there's something wrong with the game, like it's bugged or something. And I keep trying to open it and open it and open it, and then the monster comes and kills me. So I don't know. I seriously
your
thought it
other
was
option. What could he have done there, Nick?
I should have ran and hid.
You
but-
get to hide. Yeah. So there's a
Oh.
couple things you can do, right? There's like defend yourself with like incense, which is never really works ever. Hide or kind of distract the ghost, which only really works in VR, kind of where you throw something. But he's fucked. The first time we ever played the game, only one of us knew that happened, and so one of my friends stood outside the door when it started hunting, and you could see through the little window of the door, and then we were like, "Open the door! Stop holding the door! Open the door!" We were like, and one of us got killed, and we just freaked out. We were like, "God damn it, Trevor, you piece of shit!" We were just lighting this guy up. You're like, "You fucking asshole!" And he's like, "Dude, I couldn't open it either. I was trying to help." And we're like, "You're lying." And we were like, and then we
Damn,
looked
so
at
even
it.
if you have a second person trying to hold it open,
It doesn't matter. The door is forced closed. Yeah.
this is when you need a nice 2x4 and just like something to hold that bitch open, dude.
I feel like this is the first time I've heard of Trevor, and I want to hear more about him. Just so
Trevor's
you
a menace. Just let you know, Trevor is a worse menace than I am.
know. Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Starfield. I mean, a lot for me. I probably put in, I don't know, another 5 to 6 hours or something. Yeah, I could. I'm having a little bit of Bobby problem with this Bethesda game where like, yeah, I could just click on the main. There's a tab that says main quest line and just do that. But there's so much shit. There's so much stuff out there. It's a gigantic world. One of the first levels, one of the first quests you get, there's so many quests. So many. So much to the point where like I had to drop some people off at one planet and they're like, "Oh, thank you so much." And it's a whole planet with a whole city. And I did not, I was like, I'm staying at, nope, I'm getting gas and I'm getting the fuck out, dude. Because I don't need none of your problems. Like I don't want to talk.
You guys having a
none-
civil war and people are being slave traded? Not my
dude,
problem.
no,
I'm gone.
not for me. I'll be back later. I'll be back in 75 hours. And so I just took off from there. So one of the very first quests you get is like, go to this one place and survey the planet. What surveying means depends on the planet, but you find out what resources are available, what fauna there is, and what flora there is. And so this particular one is like five of each, and it took me fucking forever. Apparently, that means everything that lives on that planet you have to find, and doesn't sound like it's too hard. You do have to fly to different biomes and try to find, but this place only had 2 biomes, so you just have to be lucky to land where this one thing lives. And I was there forever and ever, but there was plenty to do. Like I don't know if everybody here's played Skyrim, but like you see like a little icon that's grayed out. You're like, oh, there's a thing there, right? Because it's within striking distance. So you just walk to that thing and figure that thing out, and then usually it's bad guys taking over or AI took over a fucking place and you solve the whole thing, but you're also not doing anything towards the survey. But it's okay. I was like, just going and going. What is nice but not great is again, if you're playing Bethesda games, you fill your inventory up and then you go sell and then you do it again. But your ship has cargo. It can hold so as long as you get back to your ship, you can fill up that whole bitch full of things. And then when you go sell, you can sell things directly from your ship. Unfortunately, you have a storage at your home base, but you can't move things from your ship to that cargo that I know of. Maybe with a mod. That's my goal this week. I want to mod the game. What else? Oh yeah. So I'm going just from like hotspot to hotspot. Oh, thank you. What's going on? Okay, but go, mama. Hotspot to hotspot, and I had no health. I had nothing to heal myself with, and I'm literally eating whatever food's just laying around. Just like I killed them all, and then I ate the pirate's lunch to try to heal myself up. Literally at 5 hit points. I was just trying to find anything because there was no vendors on this planet, and I didn't want to fly all the way back to sell this thing. And it's just like, I think I could the entire game could be on this one planet, and it would be
You could
enough.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's 1,000 planets. It's like
That's
100 Skyrims in one game. It's
you're playing a retirement game, in my opinion. You're playing a game that's so big you'll never finish it until you retire. Like, yeah.
It's like,
Well, it's not that the planets are so incredibly able to be explored like they are No Man's Sky, right? Because I thought that I saw that one of the biggest complaints that some people would have is that like they want to be able to explore the planets completely and just like see a planet and go check it out. But like it's not exactly like that on Starfield, right?
I think you can. You can land wherever you want as long as it's not water. And you can run in any direction. I think you could run around an entire planet if you wanted to. So I don't know. Maybe No Man's Sky has more. I remember No Man's Sky having a lot of subterranean stuff, like caves and stuff. This does, but they're more rare. I haven't seen a lot of caves, but I haven't been on a lot of planets either. So no, I think you can land wherever you want, and I think you can run the whole circumference of the planet. So yeah, it's very explorable.
So I think the thing that people are complaining about the most right here, and the man is like talking about it, is that you can't fly in orbit. In No Man's Sky, you can get your ship and you can fly in orbit, and you can like even shoot things on the ground and stuff. And it's like a key part of the game. And like, for example, if something's like 3 kilometers away, you don't have to run 30 minutes to that fucking thing. You can literally get in your ship, take off like 30 feet off the ground, and go fly to it. And that's what people are like, why is that in like a 6-year-old game, 7-year-old game, and it's not in Starfield, this game that's been like been developed with $400 million or whatever. So I mean that's why there's a question about it.
I get it, because like if I just flew my spaceship over there and blew up the whole place with my laser cannons, it would take away a lot of the adventure. I like going and fighting space pirates without blowing them up with my spaceship.
Well, even if that's the case, then like make the guns not work in orbit, right? Just make it so that you can at least fly to it.
But like No Man's Sky isn't loading like a planet's worth of dialogue and quest lines and voice acting and all these like they're 2 completely separate games. So I feel like it's a little unfair to compare.
They both shine in different
flying
places.
I mean, No Man's Sky, you can land anywhere and go anywhere on the planet, but the majority of that's not really worth looking at or seeing,
I did realize that there's a lot of RNG going on. Like if you just keep running west, things will be in the west. Like it's all populated. I don't think there's any direction you could just go and nothing will be there. There's things in every direction, and not far either. I mean, 5 minutes of running would be an extremely long. Usually, I don't run more than 2 minutes if I'm going anywhere. I did want to talk about the skill trees a little bit. So, say like fitness, you put a point into fitness. You cannot get fitness level 2 until you've done the prerequisites for fitness level 1. Even though you have fitness level 1, which is like 15% to oxygen, you can't get to level 2 until you've ran enough that you can unlock level 2. Does that make any sense?
Okay.
My like melee build, right? So I got melee 1. It's great. It's like 25% less damage when you have a melee weapon out. Great. You can't get melee 2 until you kill 30 30 worthy adversaries with
a melee weapon.
a melee weapon.
That's super cool. God,
I really like it. Yeah, I really like it.
that
It's
seems
very
awesome.
cool. Yeah. The lock picking, I got lock picking 1, but I can't get picking 2 until I unlock X amount of saves. And it makes it much more deliberate. It's not just a skill tree. It's like I have to actively work towards this. But the benefits are like tremendous. You know, I think they stack. So when you get 25% to this, and then later on you get 35% to that, that includes the 25% from before. So you're making massive jumps, but you have to work towards it. So I really like that. And that's about it for now. I put mule just because, like, yeah, you got to carry a lot of shit.
Cool.
I believe that.
Nick, tell me about the fires of Rubicon.
The fires.
To be honest, I can't tell you much about the fucking fires of Rubicon, but I can tell you the game's fun as shit.
Dude, before you go,
Telling
just
us
real
something.
quick, I read the lore for the game, and I was like, what the fuck is happening on this game?
It's so stupid, dude. And this is every Armored Core story. It's like you're a mercenary, and then you blow up some like shit, and you're like, oh, I'm a bad guy now. Like, now I got to do good stuff. And then it's like, wait, all this stuff hurts people. And then it's like back and forth. Anyways, but the thing is, there's no faces. There's not a single like CGI. I have not seen a single human being in the game. Like, there's no, like, I've seen giant robots. I've heard people talk, but it's all radio communications and shit like that. It's all like in-game audio. It's all like loading screen audio. All of it's skippable, and it's the best because you don't need to know, because all the game does is like, go over here, blow this shit up, or protect this shit, or avoid this shit.
But there's fires on Rubicon, dude.
There's
we
fires
have to
on
know.
Rubicon.
We have to know why.
I'll tell you right now, I got fucked up by them fires today. But so the game's getting like an 80 to 88 as far as like reviews go, and I really believe it deserves it. This is a total like get on sale game. You get about 20 hours of fun out of it. I'm 40% of the way through it. I've put like 8 hours into it, 9 hours into it. I just unlocked multiplayer. It's kind of weird. They kind of make sure that
unlock multiplayer.
Yeah. So the reason why they do it that way is so you make your mech, right? And they don't want you to be disadvantaged when you go play multiplayer. So they want to make sure that you have a certain amount of parts. Not only do you have Elo, but they're like, we don't want the guy who has like the solar gun that can shoot the beams of the sun, into somebody that has like a pistol. They don't want that to happen. But it's all one-on-one combat. It's not like a team-based game. If that was the case, then this game would be fucking nuts. But yeah, I don't care about the story at all. It's still super fun. One thing I like about it is that the missions range from anywhere from like literally 2 minutes long to like 45 minutes to an hour. So it's nice because you can pick it up, play a mission, drop it, and then you unlock these things called arena battles where you can like people have submitted characters, and the developers have made characters By characters, I mean like specific robot like suits, and you fight them, and they have like code names, and like sometimes you'll even see them in the story. But like you fight like a souped up version of them, and you make money and you buy parts and shit like that. So it's pretty fun. The robot building is not super in depth. You're not like, oh, my left arm weighs 45 pounds more than my right arm or anything like that. It's not super crazy, but it's fun. It's really fun. I like it a lot.
3 weeks ago, I said, "What is this game? Never heard of any Armored Who fires where." And I did play it too this week, Nick. I played the first mission at least, and then I dicked around in the Met Creator. I just was doing color schemes and stuff, and I'm hooked. Like I feel like this game is awesome, dude. It's so satisfying sliding in on your mech, like multi-selecting everything, firing off a barrage of rockets. What feels better? What can feel better? Tell me.
You can't. Well, wait until like so. Not. So things get more in depth as far as like the weapon platforms that are available to you. So like right now, I think your rocket launcher can, like your missile launcher can shoot like 2 rockets. Well, there's some that shoot 10. There's some that shoot 1 big ass missile. There's some that shoot like 8. There's some that shoot like plasma missiles, and like it gets really, really fun. For example, it's like you can buy one that shoots 3, and you're like, that's a weird ass number. Why would it shoot 3? Well, the whole point is that it does a lot of stun damage, and the missiles fly sideways and one flies up, and so that your opponent has a very difficult time dodging them. And so it can get really, really, really in depth and really fun. Where did you pick it up? Did you buy it, or did you get it like a free copy or something?
I had to. I'm Steam sharing it off a coworker. I had to play it for work basically, and that was one of the best things I've ever done.
You like it? I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, and the open world took me. I don't know if it's truly open world, but it felt in the mission that I played that I could go pretty much everywhere I could see. Like I jumped off this catapult, or I was flung with the catapult, and there was this huge area that I could explore, and it just felt awesome.
So sometimes the levels can literally be a room, like what can be considered like in a video game, like a 30 by 30 room, or it could be like a huge mountain range. And yeah, you can usually go wherever you can see, and you can scan the area, even find parts or like find money and stuff. But to me, I haven't found that all that much, but it's pretty fun, especially when you get to the missions that are like timed. And one thing that you'll learn is the stronger your guns get, the more the ammo costs, and you can even lose money on missions.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wake up call at the end of my first mission when it was like your pay, and then it's like time in the mech minus, and then it's like armor repair kits. I was like, but I had them on me. Now I have to pay.
It's like your first job, and you're like, taxes? What the fuck?
Yeah,
I worked it up
exactly.
to $10 an hour. Why am I only getting 30?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man.
super fun.
Super fun. Yeah. What about Remnant 2, Emilio?
I don't know. I want to hear about Phoenix Springs, the prologue.
All right. Well, I don't know. This game is really kind of interesting. I played a bit of it. You can play it for free because the prologue is out there for free. So it's kind of a demo. I guess this probably could have been on the radar since it's not the full game, but I did want to highlight some really cool things about this that I found. It is this point and click adventure. It's a stylized like mystery. They kind of also put it as like a sci-fi. I'm not truthfully seeing like too much sci-fi in this, but it is a really, really unique game, I think. You're this investigative reporter, and so you're going through looking at this mystery, trying to find your brother. And the game is entirely voice acted, and it's done really, really well. And I really love the way that they play off of camera angles and kind of where you're at, and you sit there and you kind of figure out the line of how you want to ask things to different people that you interact with in the game, which is cool. So like you can select your iris and your eye, and then like select a certain topic to then click on something that's in the world and kind of connect all of them. And so you're kind of following that and being guided by the evidence and things that you are finding in the universe. And it's just, I think it's incredibly beautiful. It's definitely it's stylized and designed like it's a graphic novel. which I think is really cool. I'm always such a huge fan of that kind of stuff. And like I said, it's very noir and very simple, but the storyline of it has been really good so far. And I really enjoyed it. I beat it. I got as far as like I can go with the prologue, which doesn't take too long. It's probably like 40 minutes. So it's not long at all. I highly recommend everybody to play it, at least like the free prologue, to see if you like it, just because like I said, it's a unique take. It came out on May 5th 2023, so relatively new. It's got 100% positive, but that is 21 people, so take that with a grain of salt. You probably know 21 people, but I do think that this is really cool and really well done, and it sounds great. It's visually beautiful, and it's a really, really cool game. I really enjoyed this. It kind of reminds me in a way of there was a graphic novel, visual novel that I checked out called I think Cut to the Core is what that one was called out. And so this is kind of stylized in a very similar way, but you actually are playing a game with this one, whereas the other one not so much.
Almost looks like watercolors.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
it looks
does.
beautiful. Oh, I love the
Very
look.
nice.
You pick truly beautiful games, you know? Like you put stuff on the radar, it's just like visually like so distinct. Yeah, cool.
I don't know, man. According to these guys, the uglier the game is, the more I probably like it.
Yo, give me that grunge.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
just love the style of this. And like I said, the story of it was really cool. And I found myself, there were a few moments where I was just like, man, I can't really figure out what the next step is. But then I saw that there was something that I didn't click or check out. And then it all connects, and then you're kind of like, oh, and then you go into the next spot. So I really do enjoy that kind of stuff. Like what was it? The Case of the Golden Idol, I think is kind of similar with that as well, of trying to figure out what's going on. And so yeah, this is a really really dope visuals with really wonderful voice acting and a cool story.
Sorry, Days, if you already said, but so the prologue is free, and then there's episodes you can buy, or
It's looking like the prologue is free and that they haven't come out with the full game just yet.
I
But
see.
so it's like you check out the prologue and then when the full game comes out, it
Oh,
looks like
gotcha.
it's just a one and done. You buy it, you get the whole thing.
Gotcha. Cool.
Cool.
Keep it up with the alt stuff. It's needs to be talked about for sure, especially with only 20. Did you review it? Hmm?
I did not. I should
Mm.
write a review. You're right. Give it a little
DLG bump.
DLG bump.
DLG bump.
Mhm.
Yes.
If
Period.
anybody here writes a review, if you're listening now, just put a little hashtag DLG bump. We don't know if it does anything, but Christian
We
would
don't know
like
the
to
results.
know. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see if it does.
No. And then send it to us so we can put it up on Discord and show everyone. If you rate something negative and you write DLG bump, I won't like you. So just
We'll find you.
It's a free world. You can do it, but it's fine.
Toxic
eat your pet fish.
positivity only.
It's toxic positivity only. Yeah.
Remnant 2, man. I'm going to be talking about it for the rest of the year, I guess. Nick, just like you were talking about when Cricket plays
Arc.
what is it? Arc, yeah. And
Yeah,
just
he's like
blows everybody
freakishly
up.
good at it.
Yeah, he's already
Amazing at
he
it.
hasn't done everything, but he's done a lot. And there's a little bit more that was revealed to me, I guess. So there's like, I don't know, 6 worlds, 6 dimensions that you have to go through. And every one, I've talked about how like it's randomly generated, but that's not exactly right. There's like 6 versions of that dimension you can get. So potentially you can run through the game 6 times and maybe you'll get everything. I don't think you'll have to run through the same version of the one dimension twice to get everything. It tracks the ones that you've already done. So when you start over at the end of the game, you know that one's crossed off. So you're not going to see the same content over and over, even though it's the same world. You'll be fighting different bosses, and you'll be doing different pathways. It'll look different. So he came in and he played with John and I, and we went and did completely new shit. We had a great run. He'd never done it. It's crazy because he's put in so many hours. He's level like 65 or whatever the fuck, and he hasn't seen any of the shit that was in my game because he's just not there yet, you know. And that was really cool. We got a bunch of loot he had never got before, and then he helped us out with some stuff, whatever he had done already. He was like, "Oh yeah, you want to do this and this," but we had a blast. Let's see. So I talked about archetypes and how you can basically mix and match whatever you want. You can main whatever you want, and you can subclass whatever you want. The bonus to this is there are perks that you get with each class that are permanent. So it doesn't matter. Once you move to another class, you keep those. So really what the game is wants you to do is play every level tons of times and max out every class. Nick, it would be like if you're playing Binding of Isaac and you beat the game with Magdalene and you keep one of her traits for all characters.
That would be nuts. Yeah,
Yeah, it would be nuts. But it's a lot of work. But
yeah,
the gameplay loop in this is so fucking good. Who cares? Like it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Love it. Just a bad year for it to come out. It's up against some monsters this year. Yep.
Do we know the names of all the 6 worlds? Wait,
Ooh.
I think this could be fun. I'm going to describe what I see, and
Okay.
I'll go around the table, and everyone names it. Okay?
No.
It could be fun. It could be
What?
shit. No? Okay.
Okay.
So, Emilio, I'm seeing, I'm looking in the sky, and there's a big black hole, and the ground has like these giant thin spikes that are like shooting up, some small, and some all the way to the atmosphere. What are we looking at here? What kind of world?
That would be the spiky place. I don't know.
I was gonna say Porcupine Place. That's the name I have. Okay, Days. There's all these big trees. Some are evil, some are corrupted, and they're like eroding this stone ancient civilization. And it's kind of lit by these orange, beautiful lanterns.
That sounds like Spooky Town.
Spooky Town. Okay. Okay.
Spooky town.
Bobby, there's there's like parts of the world reversed by gravity. They're like floating upwards, and then there's these giant spheres that are spinning around each other, and lightning bolts are shooting through them.
I don't know, dude. What?
I don't know, dude. Verse.
I don't know, dude verse? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We can put this bit out of its misery right after I ask Nick. Okay, Nick. I'm walking. I'm walking. It looks like a rundown area of Gotham. There's like fires in homes, but it's like people are trying to keep warm. It's like wooden, but they're punctured by these giant like monoliths that are red crystals everywhere.
Chicago 2.
Perfect. Chicago too. Okay. Well, if you like that bit, you can support us on Patreon for $5 a month. Get a sticker, get a shirt. You have our thanks. And to all our patrons, thank you so much. Okay, no subs. No subs, but listener questions, which you can ask on Discord. And
Holy hell.
Bobby, what's going on?
Well, we've got a lot of them.
Yeah.
So, so don't feel like you have to take too long here to answer a question. First one from Zap. What is your best or worst celebrity encounter?
I don't have one. You guys go. Oh,
I got a
Christian's
good
is the
one.
best.
I told this already. I don't even want to. It's so embarrassing, guys. It's too embarrassing.
I got a good one.
Yeah, go.
I think it was like in 2014 or 2015. I was working at a barbecue place in downtown Detroit. And they sometimes get famous people. Like I've gotten to meet Keegan-Michael Key. And this story is involving Jason Momoa because I got to meet him. But he was fucking hammered. He was hammered. Oh man, they cut him off. Like when I started working, I showed up at work. I was being a food runner, and I was all giddy. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Khal Drogo!" I'm like, I'm gonna make sure every single. I was like, I'm gonna make sure, and like most of the people that I worked with didn't know who the fuck he was, because this was pre Aquaman. This was like basically only Khal Drogo was like his only big thing.
Was it season 1 or
Stargate
season 2? Khal
Atlantis.
Drogo?
Season 1, like
Oh,
season
man,
1,
yeah,
all
it was
way
like-
back, and like I got teased. People were like, "Oh, Amanda's crush is here," like, "Oh, it's her crush." The ironies now is everybody's fucking crush, but anyway,
I liked him before he was cool.
right, yeah, but no, he got cut off, and so he left to go. I don't know where he went to go, but I watched this man walk across 6 lanes of like traffic, and I was so nervous for the cars because this dude is enormous. He's one of the biggest motherfuckers I've ever met, and he's drunk. He don't give a shit. He's got Aquaman confidence walking before there was Aquaman, and yeah, like I was so nervous for those cars. I was like, if any car hits this dude, that car's totaled, and he ain't gonna feel a damn fucking thing. He's not. He's a beast. He is a beast. But yeah, that was definitely my favorite and best celebrity encounter. My worst one was Wale. Wale can get wrecked. Wale's
Who's
a
Wale?
douchebag. It's a
Like the
mumble
person who gets the
shit rapper. He's a rapper.
Oh, I thought the
He
cute little
called
robot
and he
that
wanted to start a fight because we couldn't like deliver food to him, and he was like, "Well, I'm not trying to come in and run into anybody." And it's like, he's not even that famous. Not a single fucking person went up to him to recognize him. Once he left, somebody was like, "Hey, did you know that was Wale?" I was like,
No
"Well,
one's
he's
gonna
an
go,
asshole."
"Oh shit, it's Wale."
Well, he was still an asshole, but I don't know. Yeah, that's my. Yeah, I loved meeting Jason Momoa. That was great.
I completely forgot until you said it. Yeah, I met him too, in a way. I was hanging out with a bunch of girls. It was me and like 5 or 6 girls at a bar, and it was Comic-Con, and Jason Momoa fucking sat, and his boys sat next to us, and next thing you know, all my girls are at his table, and I was all alone, and I went home.
Why didn't you go,
Well,
dude?
should have been Jason Momoa,
He
dude.
didn't go to his boys, and he wasn't even trying. He was doing this thing. Okay, so like this is on the bar stool, and he's doing this thing. It's just flexing the guns, just like
Or
a lot
maybe
to
he
think
was
about.
also
Like brooding.
really,
He was
really
brooding.
hammered.
And his boys are just fucking.
He's probably trying not to shit himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost all my girls.
Well, he's a huge dude. It's hard to keep him around with him there.
He's
Yeah.
He's a gorgeous man.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I
is.
I didn't mean a gorgeous man physically, but I met a gorgeous man spiritually, I guess, personality wise. I met the rapper E40, who's like a Bay Area rapper, and I got to talk to him for like 30 minutes. It was like the Niners were in the playoffs. I worked at Best Buy. I was in my Best Buy clothes, and we were at a birthday party for someone who was like an employee that everybody kind of was like, eh. And I was like, hey, there's a new restaurant. We're gonna go there. It's in the same like parking area as our place. So we go there. I was like, dude, there's a big ass mob of people over there, but I'm gonna order a drink anyways. I'm not driving. So I ordered a drink, and a big old mob of people leaves, and I see him. I'm like, oh my god, it's E40. And I walk up to him, and I was like, hey man, nice hat. And that's all I say to him. And he's like, oh, thanks, cuz. And and all of a sudden he was just like, who's your favorite player? And I was like, well, I didn't expect you to ask me a question. That was out of nowhere. And we just talked about football, and we just talked about the Bay Area for like 30 minutes. He was like the nicest dude in the world. I was like, oh, is your wife here? And he's like, yeah, she's over there. She's just chilling over there and just, talking to her girlfriend. I was like, oh, cool. And then he was just like, all right, man, you have a great day. That's it. I never asked him for an autograph or
Hell
nothing.
yeah.
I have a picture with him, and that's it.
Sweet.
And my friends were like, where the fuck did you go for 30 minutes? And I showed them a picture, and they're like, you didn't say anything? I'm like, what am I going to do? Bring another mob of people around? And that's hella fucking rude.
Yep.
Here's an E40 lyric. Jesus Christ had dreads, so shake them. I don't have some, but I'm thinking about growing some. That's his chorus.
Is that an E40 lyric?
Yeah, it is.
Imagine all the Hebrews going down, dancing on top of chariots and turning tight ones.
Yeah.
I
That's the
haven't
loot.
heard. I've only heard E39. I haven't heard E40 yet.
I need the updated version.
At PAX, do you guys know the YouTuber The Completionist?
That sounds familiar.
He completes. Spoiler alert: he's completing games. And I'm with my coworker, and he's a huge fan. And he sees him. He's like, "Oh my god, the Completionist is here!" And he's kind of like, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go up. I'm just gonna say hi. Like, I like what you do." And all his friends are around the table, and they're like not into video games at all. And they're like making fun of him the whole time. They're like, "Ooh, the completionist." Like, or he couldn't keep his shit together because the completionist walked through. I don't know. It was funny. Like one person's like idol is just like no one else cares. And
One
then,
man's
yeah.
trash or whatever.
Yep.
However, the opposite of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did went up, and he was super nice. And yeah, so not my story, but a wholesome thing that I was witnessed.
Sounds like you want to let him complete on his face, dude. Bobby, what do you got?
I've never met a celebrity. I don't even know if I've seen one in public. I mean, I've been to Comic-Con and I'm like, I think that's the back of Brian Posehn's head, or is that Chris Hardwick? Like I've kind of, yeah, dude, I've never met a celebrity. I don't know
I'm
what I would
sure
do.
you've seen them in San Diego, but they've been like, who gives a shit kind of people, like Snooki from the Jersey Shore, which really did happen. That was like 2 blocks from your place.
Oh, that's
Maybe I
another.
don't.
Okay, there's a couple more. Now that
Guys,
you
we're
say
literally
it.
on the first question here.
I know.
We gotta
I
keep
know,
going.
I know, but it's good.
We got
It's
a
good.
we got like 12 questions, dude.
It's good.
I'm worried. I'm worried.
How do I say this? I saw the cast of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia do some things they wouldn't want me to talk about. And also The Situation from Jersey Shore. Yeah, I saw him do things that you think he does. Yeah. So there you go.
Great.
It was
That was
Jesus fucking
Wow.
Christ.
yeah.
You
No, I
really
think-
did
I
get
feel like-
COVID
I feel like-
through my
I feel
mic, huh?
I feel like you were just being respectful, Emilio. You don't want to
Yeah, the cast, most of the cast of It's Always Sunny was in my apartment.
Oh, dude,
Bobby will
that's
know
pretty
what
cool.
That means. Yeah, Bobby will know what
Sweet.
that means. All right,
All
keep
right.
going.
Next question from Zap. What's the longest, most ridiculous game title you can think of? I have 2 examples. First one, Like a Dragon Gaiden. Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name. And also The Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners, Chapter 2, Retribution.
First thing that comes to mind is it was a VR game, but it was also like a regular game on Steam early on, and it's just called like a bunch of A's and then an H. Or like
It's always
4
your first
H's.
one in the top of in your library because
Yeah,
alphabetically.
And it's the subtitle is a grotesque respect for gravity, something like that, and it's where you jump off of something and you try to like control your descent, basically. But yeah, it's I don't even want to do it justice, but yeah, that's a bad one.
interesting.
Hmm.
What about you,
know.
Days?
The first one that comes to my mind is going to be, of course, the classic, a wonderful one. Milk outside of a bag of milk inside of a bag of milk, or milk outside of a bag of milk outside of a bag of milk. Both of those, they work. They slap. They're
Yeah.
great. Slapping like a bag of milk. Yeah, slap it.
Ridiculous, but also like I feel I haven't even played the games, but I feel like they were kind of like it works. Yeah.
It's meta as fuck.
Yeah.
Life is nothing but a milk inside of a bag of milk inside of a bag of milk. That's all it is.
Mhm.
I can't even drink milk.
I can't think of any ridiculous titles. Okay.
The only one I can think of is the
Crickets.
one where it's like you saw those games, now you can play them. But
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
3
Hey, you
sentences
saw
long.
those games. Now play. What was it? It was something like that, but it was longer. It had
It had like
3 more words.
It had like 11 words.
Yeah. That was a good one. Oh, and we looked it up, and Christian said it was the longest title on Steam, right?
Yeah.
Christian? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it supplanted whatever it was before then. Yeah. Bobby's gonna keep this going by just not answering. I don't know.
Sometimes
I
that
played the
works.
fifth.
No, I can't think of any. Although I am always perplexed by titles of Japanese games. Usually on Steam, they're in all caps too, so it feels like they're screaming them at me. And I think it doesn't bother most people because they play a lot of these games and they're used to it. But when I read these titles, I'm just like, they just threw a bunch of words together. What is a Metal Gear Solid? You know, like what that's like iconic at this point. But that's kind of an example. Are all those subtitles that they have for those games? It just always seem like slightly off. Like you can tell it something was lost in translation there.
What is a Metal? You've played every single game. What is a Metal Gear Solid?
Metal Gear is it's just a code name.
Mech.
It's a code name for the actual like mech or like weapon. It's not like a title. It's not like, oh, this is a Metal Gear. It's just a code name for the item. And then it became like, oh yes, this is Metal Gear Ray. This is Metal Gear Rex. Originally, it was a code name for what they were trying to destroy.
But
like,
how
how
many
many-
became the name of the
how-
thing?
How many Metal Gears are in the game, would you say?
I mean, like in the series, I think there's like 12, like that, like as far as like unique designs.
Like
But as far
actual
as like,
gears made of metal.
oh no, they're billions.
Billions. Nice.
And then the solid part comes from his name, Solid Snake, right?
Yeah, he's Solid Snake. You know,
But there's no. But the game's name is Metal Gear Solid. No colon. Just
Metal Gear Solid. Yeah.
All right, man. Whatever.
Or
Whatever
Metal
you say,
Gear
pal.
Rising Revengeance. There's another one.
That's definitely another one.
All right, moving on. Another question from Zap, his final one. If you could have one non-alcohol sponsor for DLG Con, who would it be?
Oh, dude, WASD keyboards.
Be LaCroix.
Nvidia.
Is LaCroix non-alcoholic? I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
You don't like LaCroix?
I thought we were talking about drinks, guys. Like, what do you mean? Like, are we supposed to
Non-alcoholic.
just pick whatever sponsor we would want?
Well,
Non-alcoholic.
the
so
question does specify non-alcoholic.
Yeah, so I would assume it would be drinks, right?
could be.
I'm not gonna drink Nvidia.
You could.
I don't know.
Dude, I want
Maybe.
us all to get a custom keyboard that speaks to our soul. Everyone who attends DLGCon walks out with like just like the perfect color scheme for them, with the perfect keys. That would be sick.
I feel
So
like
what would be your perfect color scheme?
Orange and black, maybe. I think I would like that.
for Halloween.
I would go to the booth, the WASD booth, and I'd bring Emilio with me, and then I would just ask him, what colors do you really hate? And then that would be the color scheme that I get for my keyboard.
He's just digging that hole, dude.
Nice.
I feel like if Razer did it, it'd just be blown. We'd have like Razer fucking hot balloons, a whole bunch of shit we don't need. I think EVGA keeps it classy. I'm gonna go with
Hot
EVGA.
balloons. Okay. So no on Tostino's pizza rolls.
I think,
It's
yeah,
gonna be
dude.
hard
I mean,
pass
yeah.
Yo, I had Tostino's pizza rolls like last week. It's just still slaps as bad as they are. They're pretty good.
Now, is that the bag of things that you could just grab off the shelf, or are those the ones that you warm up?
You warm them up.
You warm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
I'm
frozen.
thinking of like something else. There's like another pizza roll that's like a cracker. Anyway,
Combos.
combos, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Next question from Tom. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that right every week. Not sure what the pronunciation on that is. Who is your celebrity man crush? Well, I think we know it's Jason Momoa, right?
I mean, he's up there for sure.
Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Yeah, there's another
Still
one. You know
Henry
what?
Cavill.
If you're gonna put in like their personalities too, I would go with Cavill. How
I
can
love
you go wrong with
Cillian.
Giga Chad?
All right, I love Killian Murphy. Is that how you say his name?
Dude,
Mm,
he is
love
haunting
him.
looking. Like you remember that face.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him in every interview. I'm like, this guy's so cool.
He's
Yeah.
a
Oh, because
dark, mysterious, sexy motherfucker. Yeah. He's the evil
Go
guy.
with Mads
This is
Mikkelsen.
hot.
Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's good.
Bobby, I'm dying to hear yours.
Celebrity man crush? I don't
Yeah.
know. Who plays Picard?
Oh yeah,
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
the
a
man-
good. That's a good one.
yeah, for sure. He's got class.
Yeah. And you know I'm crushing hard on him because I can't even remember his name.
Mhm.
All right. Tom also asked, what moment in a video game made you stop playing it immediately?
Ooh,
Oh. Now, is that tied to the video game story or like actual gameplay, or because of like a save
He
loss
does
or
not
something?
specify.
I'm
Oh,
going to
I got
answer
you.
with an answer for fucking Mini Del Macho. The game, by Supergiant, where it was a sport. You travel around and it's an RPG, but you play a sport instead of fighting. Spire, something like that.
Say the
Anyway, it asked him a question.
Pyre.
Pyre. There was an ultimatum, basically, the game gave him, and he didn't want to answer it. And he loved the game. And rather than make a choice, he'd stop playing it. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. Like, it just blew me away. He didn't like being painted into a corner, and I guess I can respect that. By the way, I try to message him and call him. Zero. Hope
Yeah, I
he's
don't know what's
okay.
going on with Minnie. Yeah, same.
Yeah, let's hit him up.
Hmm.
If you know Minnie on a personal level, talk to him. Tell us how he's doing.
I played Medieval 2 Total War, the Lord of the Rings mod, and I was getting real into it. Oh my god, they have the cinematics from the movie whenever you discover a new place. It's like, this is
That's so cool.
This is Barad-dûr. Bah, bah. And I'm like, yes, I'm there in real life. And so I'm putting a good amount of time in, and then the game crashes. I'm like, no problem. I reload it, crashes again. I'm like, oh shit. I look it up. They say, if you do this series of events as this faction, I was Rohan, and you explore this cinematic, it'll crash the game and you won't be able to reload anything, and you'll have to restart. We're talking like 20 hours. I was just like, not for me. Like, I can't. I can't go back.
Fuck
dude.
out of here. That is terrible, dude.
Yeah, that sucks.
Mine's also Total War. It's Total War Shogun 2. There's a moment where in the game where there's a possibility where a bunch of your people can rebel. And I've been playing the game for a while. This is like the first time I'm getting super into it. I'm learning how to play a Total War game. I'm learning that you don't have to attack people every fucking turn. You don't have to be at war with everybody. And then every single one of my towns rebelled against me. And I was like, I'm done. Like,
What were you doing? Yeah, were you texting the shit out
so
of them? Or?
I was taxing the shit out of them, and then winter hit. And then they were like, we don't have any food or anything.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I
but
was
dude,
like, oh.
there's a
Brought out the
mechanic in that game.
guillotines and
The mechanic in that game, once you get to a certain power level, like the mid-game crisis, is I'm pretty sure it's a samurai rebellion. So if you control certain,
yeah.
If you control
There's
certain
a-
towns, they rebel, and yeah.
Yeah, and if you play certain factions, that rebellion can actually help you too. So,
Hey, Nick, just so
Mhm.
you know, starving people get real mad.
yeah, they get really mad really quick.
Bad
yeah, you
leader.
don't fuck with people's food.
God.
I've learned since.
Got a
Yeah.
Hangry
population.
peasants. You don't want hangry peasants.
Hmm. For me,
Hangry
I
peasants.
stopped playing a game. It was Divinity Original Sin 2. Lotion and I got right to the end, like literally the end. You got to go through the door. It's done. Couldn't do it. Couldn't shut the game. So technically, I have not beaten the game because I'm right at the end because I can't
That's
do
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is fucking beautiful.
Wait, because it bugged
Put
out? or
hundreds
because-
of hours in the game and like
Get the
knew
fuck
it was
outta
right
here.
at the end.
'cause
No,
it
it's a
bugged out, or 'cause
philosophical
you-
choice, Emilio. It's from the heart.
Oh, I see. I see.
I don't want it
'Cause-
to end.
Bobby and I got to what we thought was the end, and then Minnie explained to us that we didn't have all the stars that you're supposed to collect.
No.
throughout
Well,
the
first of all, that
game,
was
or-
Divinity Original Sin 1. And yeah, we had played the hell out of that game. And Minnie, who was like an expert in it, was helping us at the end and guiding us. And he's telling it because the first one was a lot harder. So we're doing all the last things you need to do, like at the very end of that game. And he's guiding us because we don't know what the hell we're doing. And he's like, okay, all right, so at this part, okay, so you're going to put all your stones here. And I'm like, what stones? He's like, the stones, every time you use up one of the things. I'm like, oh, dude, I've been throwing those away.
I was like,
Okay.
I sold whatever I had to some vendor. So we would have to actively go throughout the world and go find those things.
God
Yeah.
damn.
That is hilarious, dude. Jesus.
Yeah.
Bobby,
that
are
was
you sure that's
unfortunate.
in my brain, which it doesn't work as well as yours? That was part 2.
Yeah, we never, no, that was 1. We never finished 2.
2. Oh, you're right.
we
We never
got
got to the end of 2. You're right.
Yeah, we're really close to the end. We still have a save going. We're on like the very last island, I think. Like not right at the end, but close. Yeah, no, that was definitely 1. I feel like there's more times where I've just like completely stopped playing a game. I know I've told the No Man's Sky story before, but I was playing that and kind of getting into it, playing with some friends, and then some guy that I used to play HOTS with. Christian, you know him, but I can't remember his name. We were playing, and then he like jumps in and he like does these cheat codes or hacks or whatever, and he was like, oh yeah, you can like build all this stuff and do or get all this stuff like the easy way or something like that. And after I saw that, I was just like, oh dude, like even though I knew like I could have like not done that and continued to play the game the hard way and like collect the items and build things, but after seeing that, I'm just like, I'm wasting my time.
Bobby, did your Baldur's Gate? I'm gonna ask every week. Is your team back up and running?
No. I worked. I had to take a day off so I could work on Friday. I was filming 2 shows.
That seems so weird.
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
if you don't get that going, if that team doesn't get going, I feel like we should just like hardcore commit to something. Me and you, like 2 hours a week. Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, I mean, we could start up another playthrough, but I don't know. You tell me when you have time.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, COVID's making its rounds again, guys. Maybe it'll force you. That's what I played a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 the past few days because of COVID, and it's been like nice. I've caught up. I've caught up now to like where everything is. It just took having COVID. That's all.
Yeah, it's what we really need. It's another lockdown.
Amanda's cadence is dun 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 dun.
Oh, I started watching that show for the first time. Anyways, sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Next question from Pyronical. What percentage of DLG listeners do you think reside outside of US or Canada?
I have the percent. I don't know if we all want to take a guess first.
Okay.
Well, where did you find? Did you find this on Chartable? Because we used to use that. Okay.
I have it in front.
I get an email from them every week.
I remember it being very low. I haven't checked in forever.
Okay, I'm going to guess by this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to guess what percentage is U.S. and Canada together. So I'm going to go with 75%.
Okay.
I'm going to say 90. I'm going to go high.
Wait, you're saying 90% is out of?
No,
Inside
90% is U.S. and Canada.
Oh, okay. What about you, Amanda?
I'm gonna say 80.
I'm gonna do 83.
83. So if we're combining U.S. and Canada, it is 75, almost exactly. 69.72 of our listeners within the last 3 months were from the United States, and 4.5% were from Canada. So put those together. And then we got everything else. This could be an interesting little factoid. What is the first country that isn't Canada that people listen to this podcast in, or the United States?
Germany.
The UK.
I would guess Australia or the UK.
Poland.
Poland! No, Poland's not even on the list. That's really sad.
Shout out to Poland.
Uruguay.
Or Uruguay.
Uruguay.
It is the UK, and then in the next position is the Philippines. So if you're in the Philippines listening to this podcast, what up? Thanks for checking
the Philippines. We love you.
Yeah, and we routinely the top 10 podcasts in Lithuania, just randomly all the time.
Hell yeah,
the top 10 gaming podcast, I should say. Yeah,
Lithuania. All right. Next question from Cricket Soldier. If we had a LAN set up at DLG Con, what game would you want to play against people attending?
I feel like we could hold court playing TF2, Bobby.
TF2.
It'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
like it'd be like we were doing magic tricks in front of them.
Yeah. TF2.
I would love to play StarCraft 1.
I'd say Age of Empires 2.
That would be a good one. Because you got to think LAN party, it's got StarCraft is 1v1. Or wait, no, you can do.
What are you talking
StarCraft
about?
would be good. That'd be a
Yeah.
good one.
I just always think of 1v1 because of like the competitive scene. What's the game that we played when we were in Vegas? I didn't play it. You guys did. Killer Queen.
Killer
Black.
Queen Black.
Killer
Killer
Queen
Queen
Black.
Yeah.
That's a good one for sure.
Would be a good one.
So fun. That game's even fun as a spectator.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. Next question from Warconius. He's got a couple. There are so many things going on
Warconius.
that require your time and attention, like career, family, gaming, investments, sports, and fitness. It's really hard to manage it all. How do you achieve a live life balance?
Dude, that is, you are asking for way too long. You know, ask for the not safe for word process for that one. We will answer that question in depth there because there are some serious struggles with all of that shit for some.
The
My
answer is
answer-
methamphetamine.
My answer is
Yeah.
to live and life, Warconius. That is my answer.
You know, I do got to give a shout out. Somebody that doesn't, somebody I've never heard of before, messaged me like 2 days ago, and they were like, "Hey, man, I'm a blue collar worker. I work overtime. I'm fucking exhausted after all that shit. I just want to let you know that I really appreciate you still stepping up and fucking getting the job done, like the podcast.
Wow.
Because I listened to it going to and from work, and I was like, yeah, that's why I do it. Yeah, that was really
I do
cool.
it for the people. No, that is cool.
Yeah,
We really do have
It's
a
awesome.
great community.
I barely do it. That's my answer. I barely do it, and fitness is not one of them, unfortunately.
Got to cut some things out.
Yeah, investments at least are fast now. You can invest in shit really quick, man. Fucking, you know, I love the Cash App. I love everything they do. I love their mission statement, all that stuff. And you can invest right through the Cash App. I think it's great.
Pretty rad.
Yeah. Oh, I paid Mila $50 for something, and I was like, which is way overpaid, whatever it was. I was like, yeah, here's $50, but hey, you have to invest it. And she's like, Starbucks. And I was like, all right. So I put it in Starbucks, and I was like, now you can see. I'm trying to explain to her how, you know, you bought
That's a good lesson,
slice
dude.
of pizza.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I was like, you bought a slice of pizza, but the pizza can get bigger, and so your slice gets bigger. You know, that's the best way I could for an
Or it
11-year-old.
could get eaten.
And then sometimes slices make more slices.
Yep.
Yeah, so every once in a while, yeah, I got my first dividend from Costco. Good $4. Fucking
Nice,
dividend.
dude.
Yeah,
That
dude.
passive income life? Holy shit.
Passive income life, man. Oh, did I bring it up trying to buy a house last week? I did
Yeah,
not buy
briefly.
the house.
Oh, okay.
I got shot down hard by family members. They were just like, you're making a huge mistake. And I was like, all right.
Oh, shit.
Is it a house or
Yeah.
land? It sounded like land.
It was a house, dude. Oh, and I'll talk to you later, Bobby.
All right.
I know you're looking for something.
Are we
I thought it
going
looked
into
nice.
business?
Yeah.
Oh boy. All right. Warconius also says there was a state of play this past week and some cool PC news. Helldivers 2 will launch on PC as well as PlayStation. And February 2024 is the launch of the next installment of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Any hype for the FF7 Rebirth? I know Emilio really liked it. I'm in the same camp. Final Fantasy VII Remake was pretty special.
So I talked about it after I beat it. I beat the remake. It was the first part of the 3-part series of the remake. It gets so complicated. But and I was like, I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked it a lot. It was the best combat I've seen in an RPG, probably, maybe ever. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was active combat, active role-playing combat. It was really, really well done. But then I wasn't gonna. I said then I wouldn't continue the series. I because they made it very clear at the end and towards the end of the game that they're gonna completely go in a new direction. Like the rest of the game, the rest of was not going to be a Final Fantasy remake. They're going to go in another direction. And even if they went in the old direction of the old game, I don't know if like I got what I wanted from the first part. Yeah. I don't need to play the other ones. Helldivers 2, I'm looking forward to for sure. I really, really like. Just like Magica and just like Helldivers 1, I love the idea of having to cast spells or cast drop whatever it is, like a
They call
bombardment.
them stratagems. I think, in
Stratagems, yeah.
Helldiver.
XXADE, and you get you know, and you got to click on where you want it, and there's a lot of places where you can fuck up. You know, you're under pressure. You're trying to tap out this combo that is way harder than executing something in Street Fighter, like and getting it in the right area. You know, that I've always loved the idea of that. Although Helldivers 2 is third person over the shoulder, I believe, which is going to change things quite a bit. And I don't think a game has done stratagems in that perspective before. So I think that's really, really cool. Actually, the game that I brought up earlier in the podcast, the Witchfire, they were talking about how hard it is to cast spells, and I was really hoping that it was like some sort of like combo system, stratagem system, but it was not that. But this is that, like physical difficulty for casting spells. I think is fucking dope. Don't you guys like?
Yeah,
No?
no, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
no,
it's a
and
great
it's
idea.
super satisfying when you pull it off. Like it's the best thing ever.
Absolutely, especially under fire.
Yeah.
Helldivers 2 looks awesome. Shit. There's so many good gaming, am I right? You know?
Sniper, can you just fucking win the lottery and just sponsor the rest of us so we don't have to work or something, man?
Dude,
Figure something
that would
out.
be great. I think we might have to do it the hard way where we make good content and do it regularly and
Yeah,
try to
god
get better.
damn it.
Yeah, nah.
Ooh. Ah,
Zootala. Okay.
dang.
All right. Next question from Tanman129. What is your favorite or most memorable oh shit moment while gaming?
Okay, so me and Zap were talking in Discord, and he posted a video of a dragon or some sort of earth creature in No Man's Sky. He's in VR and he's harvesting something. And then to his right, this humongous monster pops out of the ground and goes right down in the earth beside him. And you can hear he's going like, whoa, like it just looks epic. So I'm going to play that while you guys think of one so that everyone can see what I'm talking about.
How about you, Emilio?
I've talked about mine several times. I have one ready to go. I'll talk about it while you guys. I have to bring it up. It's anybody who played EverQuest knew how hard EverQuest is. When you die, you lose experience, and you don't gain that experience unless you get resurrected. And if you get resurrected, you only get 85% of that back. It was a very, very hardcore game. It was so hard. And then on top of all of that, I believe every 5 levels was called a hell level. And a hell level would take twice or 3 times or 4 times what a regular level would take. People that I was playing with would put tape over their monitor so they couldn't see their XP because they didn't want to see that all day took 1 pixel. Well, all day you would gain 1 pixel of like experience. So it was extremely, extremely hard. And I was on a rambling fucking what do you call it? Guild. We were like bad motherfuckers. And we allowed this one guy to come because truth be told, the dude had money. And so he would throw around some money and he would get things done. And so we're like, yeah, you can come. even though you're level 44. Level 50 was the level cap. And back then, this is a long fucking time ago, the killing blow got all the XP. It was not shared amongst everybody. So
that's insane.
So we're fighting. There's only 2
Sucks.
dragons in the game, and only one of them was really worth doing, and it only spawned once a week. And so it was fucking anarchy. There was only like 3 guilds that were worthy of doing. Nobody else could actually do it, and so we had to like schedule it. Somebody made a whole calendar and fucking. This is like before Google calendars, like where these guys are writing fucking script so that we can fucking schedule dragon raids, right? And then that's when dragon raid points would come up. It's like how many dragon raids you go on, you gain points, and then that's how you get items because you can bid your points. But before that, we're just fucking throwing bodies at it. So it took 40 people to kill a dragon. And this guy, it was fucking crazy. We throw our bodies at it continuously and get this thing down to 0% health, but it's still fucking moving around. It's fucking killing us. And this guy that's level 44 walks in, throws 1 arrow, and kills it. While this is what it was. While everybody else was dead. So he absorbed the XP for the raid. So level 44, ding, level 45, the worst hell level of all the hell levels. It's the equivalent of doing 5 regular levels. Bing, 46, bing, 47, bing, 48, bing, 49, bing. He leveled up. It was in fucking insane. By the way, also loot rights. He got loot rights, which means he gets to dictate where the loot goes. He's the only person because he's the only person alive. He's the only one alive in a 40-mile just graveyard of dead people. And he walks up and he loots it. And he was the better mind that day, and he actually distributed it where it should go. He did all the right moves. It was fucking crazy, man.
It's
it
too
was
bad
fucking crazy.
nobody was recording their screen when this happened. This could have been a Leroy Jenkins meme.
Yeah,
It really could have.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, I believe it was before. I mean, in my dumb head, I think it was before people were recording their gameplay. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, back then,
Probably.
you couldn't really. Like, I don't even know how they did it
Bandicam.
with Leroy Jenkins. Yeah, Bandicam.
Oh man. I remember seeing that shit in the center of the screen all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right in
Free
the
trial
dead center.
version.
Yeah.
Big, bold white letters, Bandicam. And then if
Bandicam.
it wasn't in the center, it was at the top and the bottom.
We're talking about 6 months of experience. He probably saved himself. Crazy.
That's amazing. And were you guys? Were you guys all happy for him, or were you kind of like, this guy didn't even deserve this?
No, we were fucking ecstatic, dude, because we weren't gonna kill him. He happened to he died right away, and then he happened to die so early in the fight that he spawned and ran all the way back to the spawn in time to get 1 arrow off, dude.
It's just so amazing.
It's
Amazing.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It
That's
is
awesome.
shit.
It's pretty fucking rad.
All right.
For me,
All right. Who wants to follow that story?
Yeah. Nothing. Jesus.
I'm good.
Days has one.
I have one. I mean, I guess it's not as epic as that. It's kind of funny. Oh shit, I guess. But there was when I was playing Ark. I remember one of the funny moments was like SOCOM and I used to play Ark all the time together. Where we would build up our base and kind of do all that stuff. SOCOM would spend all this time building this base and finding this creature and or finding different dinosaurs and different animals. And I remember that he worked so hard one day to get like this pair of Argentavises. And Argentavises are nice to have because you can carry a bunch of stuff on them. They're kind of like a workhorse in terms of a flyer. So you can fly and grab a whole bunch of mined ore and things like that and carry them on the Argentavis. And like I think even at a certain point with a special saddle you can use them kind of like a smith or a forge. Not a forge, but like a I don't know, the workbench and stuff like that. So they're really useful is all I'm getting at. And they're really difficult, especially when you're starting out. And if that's going to be your first flyer besides the pterodon, like an Argentavis is pretty tough and kind of scary as well to fight because they come at you and they will try and kill you. They're pretty strong too. But so I had worked so hard convincing SOCOM to let me borrow his Argentavis so that way I could try and build a little house like on top of a mountain. And I got a little too close to this volcano, and it was the very first time that I had ever seen a wyvern. And so I gave SOCOM all this shit. It was basically like, I'm a big girl. I can handle having an Argentavis. And so I'm flying around with one, and a fucking poison wyvern comes after me and yeets me out of the sky. Like, kills me and the Argentavis out of the sky. And then I gotta be like, it was the first time I saw one too, so it was terrifying. I was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is that?" And I was running away, but I can't like outrun a wyvern. Those things are so much faster. And so yeah, it just got completely annihilated. And SOCOM didn't let me live that one down for quite a while. That like I fought so hard, and he was like, "You fought so hard for it, and then you got stoned and he died." And I was like, "I was not stoned, mind you."
I had
can't even blame
COVID.
drugs.
Stupid.
I had COVID. That's funny.
Well, no, I look stoned now because of COVID, but back then, no. Yeah. So that was terrifying though. Like I did not like any of the oh shit moments from Ark. There were a few animals that I had like an oh shit moment when I saw them, like the fucking little poison raptors that would just knock you off your stuff, or
Mm-hmm.
oh, so many like the Therizinosaur, not Therizinosaurus. No, it's the they're like the Therasocycle or whatever. They're like the saber-toothed cats that climb up the redwood trees and like and the hide in the trees, and then they'll completely knock you off of your creature out of nowhere. You're just having a lovely little stroll on like a wyvern or an Argentavis, and you're like, "Oh, this is so beautiful. Look at the woods." And next thing you know, you're like falling from the sky because some massive Tony the Tiger asshole knocked you off of your shit. And you had no
She's
idea
not
where the
lying,
hell he
dude.
came from. Just pins you down and just completely annihilates you. Like it's brutal. Arc. Not even once for some people, I'm sure. Every single time again for me and
Never.
Nick, though. I think we hate ourselves enough that we'll just keep coming back.
All right. We're at the final question here from Old Man Dave. If you could become supreme leader for the developer of your choice, which would it be, and what would your first command be?
None. I don't know. I don't know. Bull from shit, people. I would be I would make terrible choices. I don't want to be a developer supreme leader. No, thank you.
Yeah, I think if that happened to any of us, we'd run it right into the ground. But how would you run it into the ground, Nick?
Mine's one of those like sweaty boy answers. I'm just like, oh, I would be the develop leader of Konami, and then I would make Kojima the leader, and then I would retire, and then that's it. Like that's all I would do.
All right. Probably not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it'd be good.
Yeah.
I'm like, Konami doesn't need to exist. Bye.
I would sign up for Bethesda and I'd make them build a new fucking engine.
Let's not get into it. Let's not get into this fucking engine. This fucking engine talk.
Like, we're building a new engine, boys. Buckle up. This one's seen its fallout. It's time to move on.
I know how you feel, Christian, because I used to have this friend and we would always talk movies and stuff, and he'd always just be like, yeah, but the writing, it's just, the writing. And I'm like, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
So did you use that as an educational opportunity, or were you like, yeah, the writing sucks? There's only so much you can do, right? You have to give into it. I don't know.
Yeah, now they have ChatGPT.
Yep.
As far as like, I would run it right into the ground. I'd take over Steam, and I tell Lord Gaben, take a hike. Like, it's time you work on yourself. and I'd be like,
Jeez, that sounds rude.
we're making Half-Life 3, and we're not gonna keep it a secret. We're gonna put it in early access, and we're just gonna work on it for fucking until it's a finally like a samurai sword. We're just gonna work on it until it's the perfect game. And even if that means like it's been in early access for 5 years, and the technology's moved on, guess what? We're rewriting the whole thing. We're keeping the good parts. It's going to be something eternal, or maybe like a game that just evolves with the times forever. Yeah.
Sounds like you're the director of Star Citizen. You'll
Yeah.
have billions of dollars.
Billions and billions.
Facts.
All right. Yeah, I'll take over BlizzCon and I'll be like, we're bringing HOTS back, boys. That's what's
Oh,
happening.
yeah.
We're bringing it back.
Hell yeah.
We're bringing it back for those 500 people that still play it.
Nice.
We
All
got
right.
one solid answer from Bobby, and that was it, dude. He burns the coals burn hot in his heart for pots.
Okay, what's everyone playing next week? I still want to play Void Crew, but it's going to be a busy week for me. But that is still something I'm looking at. Also, Titanfall 2 is $3 on Steam right now, and I've never played that, and
Oh, it's
everybody
so
has told
good.
me how amazing it is. So probably just going to grab that, even though I don't like to buy games if I'm not going to play them immediately. I feel like $3 probably
Could
should
also
just
just
pick that up.
play it off my account anytime as well.
Do you have it on Steam or do you have it on EA though?
That's a good question. I think I have it on Steam, but I don't know.
EA don't even know what launcher they're using anymore.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk about this. Steam hit 20 years, and they had a whole
Oh,
celebration anniversary thing. Did you
Nice.
guys check out that webpage within? And
Yeah,
Any
I
of that
scanned
stuff?
through it, and they had like a nice chronology of games
Yeah.
being released. It was a nice stroll through memory lane, and they brought back that military green color that they used to that
I
the
remember
Steam
that.
client used to have. Yeah,
Never
that
worked.
gross one.
It did not work. Yeah. I jumped on for Counter-Strike 1.6. That's the reason, because I could not get 1.6 without downloading the stupid thing that was never gonna work. It's so stupid. All the other ones we just downloaded through whatever the fuck IRC or whatever, you know.
I like to have a desktop icon for my games, and that's how I launch them. I don't
Yeah.
like this library crap.
Yeah. It was cool. Yeah, totally. Like this is what came. I like that they talked about Nintendo things that came out that year and PlayStation and all this stuff. Basically saying like we're here the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
Sweet.
Oh,
That's
and
pretty neat.
all the games that they featured are on sale from that. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so it's at least 100 games I think are on sale right now. I'll be
Take us
playing.
home.
Yeah, I'll be playing. Same. I'm not gonna change. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be playing Star Citizen and Remnant 2. Well, just like Nick was saying, like, what game do you actually finish and just jump right back into? Remnant 2, just right away. I don't give a shit. I didn't feel like I accomplished shit. It was the first step in many, you know.
I'm gonna be
That's
playing
cool. Me and
Inscription.
Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Baldur's Gate. I'm addicted to Inscription. It's maybe the best game that I've played this year, and I'm not going to stop till I beat it, which could be forever. So, yeah.
Yeah, are we all
I'm
done?
playing Baldur's Gate. I'm getting to the coolest part for the character I like the most in the game, and I'm gonna probably finish it and probably finish the game.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, I was like, hey, dude, Nick, I'll buy you fucking Remnant 2 if you want to play with us. And he's like, nope, I am gonna play Baldur's Gate and beat that shit. I was like, goddamn.
So
That's
I want to beat
commitment.
it too.
Yeah. Speaking for Bobby, Amanda, Christian, Nick, and myself, motherfucking Baldur's Gate, titties, everyone enjoy. We're going home. Nick, I enjoy your hair when it's out. It's cute. I like it.